Hey guys, what's up? It's me. I'm back at it again. Well, it's happening again. It's happening again, and it's happening again. In our country, we have a bogus TikTok doctor. Dr. Matthew Lani is not a Wits University graduate. Dr. Matthew Lani claims to be a medical doctor, but the Wits University where he claims he studied say they do not know him. Dr. Matthew Lani, a bogus TikTok doctor who routinely sports a stethoscope around his neck and who has carved a niche for himself dispensing medical advice and medical content to his over 280,000 followers, could find himself in hot water with the authorities after Wits University distanced itself from him. The popular so-called TikTok doctor Matthew Lani, 27 years old, who claims to have studied medicine at the university, has been misrepresenting himself as a doctor and has also apparently been seen in scrubs at one Gauteng public hospitals. I wonder what's with Gauteng and these fake doctors. You remember in 2012, we had a similar situation in Steve Biko Academic Hospital, where a certain doctor had claimed that he was a neurosurgeon, not just a neurologist, no, a neurosurgeon, meaning he operates on a human brain. And this guy faked this for 4 solid years with the help of HPC SA. You remember that story? I hope you do. Even if you don't, I'll remind you a little bit later. The university has called on Dr. Matthew Lani to retract any and all references he made linking him with the university. Dr. Matthew Lani LinkedIn's profile claims he studied medicine MBBS at Wits between 2014 and 2021. The only problem, of course, for the good doctor is that Wits does not offer an MBBS degree, but it does offer a MBBCH degree. I mean, just imagine. Now you are going to fake to be a doctor. You don't even use Google to check out if the university you claim to have studied in offers that particular degree which you claim to have acquired from that university. How pathetic. Doctors who studied around the time have taken to social media to say they did not know him. You see, students at any given point in time at any university, they know one another. So if you're gonna claim that you have graduated at a particular university at a specific time, you are going to be found out. It's no different about lying in your CV. We are going to find out that you are lying about your experience or your exposure and the things that you have done in your CV. All we need to do, because professionals, when they meet with one another, they do ask each other's resumes without necessarily asking you to detail your CV. For an example, they say, hey, you introduce one another. Where are you from? When you tell them your geographical location, they will obviously indicate to you pointedly that no, I want to know where you're coming from, which organization were you working at. And then when you name the organization, then they'll ask you, do you know Mang Mang who works in the same organization? Depending on how you respond from there, even if you responded affirmatively, they are still going to call that individual to find out if they know you and how you were and so on and so forth. So this is how people are caught out when they are lying. But clearly, it's not done adequately in medicine if these guys can get away with it. Dr. Matthew Lani uses the alias Doc Matthew and Dr. Matthew MD on TikTok, a platform that has garnered him over 283,000 followers. Amazing. And his videos have been liked over 2.8 million times. Wow. Wits University said in a statement that they did not know who Dr. Matthew Lani was. My goodness. What an imposter. Wits University is obliged to set the public record straight following claims made by Dr. Matthew Lani on various social media platforms. Based on the names presented to the institution and the facts on hand, the university cannot find any person who graduated by the name of Matthew Bongani Zingelwa or Sanele Zingelwa in recent years. We are requesting Dr. Matthew Lani to retract any such claim with immediate effect, the university said. The Stellenbosch municipality also said Lani had never worked for them as claimed. There you go. You are going to be found out if you claim to work for a so-so-so place and you never worked there. Why? Human beings are social beings. They have a tendency to network. They're going to find you out. Now listen to what the Stellenbosch municipality has to say. We'd like to state for the record that Dr. Matthew Lani, aka Matthew Bongani Zingelwa, aka Sanele Zingelwa, has never worked here, they tweeted. The Gauteng Health Department has also deleted a post in which it featured the alleged imposter during a promotional campaign on June 16 last year. I wonder how much they paid him. Gauteng is so gullible. Remember the story of Steve Biko? Okay, in that video post, Dr. Matthew Lani claimed to be a medical doctor intern at the Helen Joseph Hospital, which is one of the provincial hospitals. He was also described as an HIV/AIDS activist. Let me show you the Steve Biko story, then we'll get back to this. Do you remember the story? Charge this fake neuroquack cause. Health stakeholders, this was on the 25th of January 2012. Health stakeholders in the country on Tuesday called for criminal and professional charges to be brought against Congolese doctor Nyunyi Wambui Katumba, who falsely represented himself as a neurosurgeon and spent 4 years working in Gauteng public hospitals as a specialist. Now, what does a neurosurgeon do? He operates on human brains. Katumba was struck off the professional doctor's role in December after being exposed as having presented no documentation to support his qualification after staff at Health Professional Council of South Africa, that is the HPCSA body, helped him bypass an exam aimed at determining his qualification. What? You mean the very health professional organization that's supposed to register doctors sometimes help them to falsely bypass exams aimed at determining their qualification? Well, there it is in black and white in front of you. Can you see that? That's why I said I'm going to remind you, because this is going to come in handy. Let's go back to our current imposter. He has also previously been given platform on the SABC Radio 2000 as recently as a fortnight ago. I guess our country has a problem of esteeming individuals the moment they name drop titles and ranks. And that has to come to an end, because they obviously have to vet these individuals. If they are qualified in such a qualification, is SACA approved? And if it's SACA approved, do they indeed, can they be verified by their alma mater? If they claim to have graduated in so-so university, does that university confirm the same? Before you expose the public to an imposter, as it is the case here. Social media users also allege Dr. Matthew Lani has been dispensing medical advice on his platform as well as selling products in the medical field. In one video, he is seen recommending deodorant for persistently smelly underarms and products to deal with bad skin, and he is seen sporting a stethoscope around his neck routinely in videos. Lani also has videos related to HIV education pinned on his profile. In a response on TikTok addressing the matter, Lani said it was not the first time he was under attack and that he had been repeatedly fighting the allegations, but they resurfaced. Well, that is already a problem, because you see, where there is smoke, there is fire. Why do these allegations not manifest themselves concerning every single graduate? Why does that not happen to people, for example, to everybody who has a degree? precisely because their degrees can be verified. That's the reason why. So each time a person claims that no, these are just allegations and the university does what Wits University has done, we now know that this is an imposter. People will be negative for the sake of being negative, despite there being videos where I am addressing this matter. People are ignoring it because right now they are having fun with the negativity. No. This is an error. We don't need him to be on video telling us about his qualification. All what we need is Vets to confirm that he is qualified. It's just that simple. All he needs to do, if there's any video he needs to do, he should be addressing Wits University and proving their false claim of distancing themselves to him. It's just that simple. My employer is aware that my name on social media is different to my legal name, and I'm in compliance with the social media guidelines of the HPC SA. You see where he's referring us to. Remember I said the fraudulent activities of the HPC SA in helping the neurosurgeon to falsely, without papers, practice for 4 years will come in handy. This is why. Observe, he's not referring us back to the university that he supposedly graduated from. He's referring us to a registering authority of doctors that has a history of being bought and paid for. Can you see that? That to me is a serious red flag. I'm not going to be compliant to Black Twitter. There is no Black Twitter. Twitter is owned by Elon Musk and he's white. I think I understand what he's trying to say, but there is no Black Twitter. To people asking me how I am, I'm perfectly fine, he said. According to the HPC SA Act, it's a crime to practice medicine without registration with the body in South Africa. Well, as we have already said, it doesn't matter that you have registered with a HPC SA, because you can falsely register with them, as it was the case with the neurosurgeon. And that's not the only instance when this has occurred. Let me show you other instances. Out. More than 120 fake doctors arrested in South Africa over 3 years. Health Council confirms. This was in the City Press, which of course is a reputable newspaper, on the 12th of June. The South African Health Professional Council, which is the HPCSA, confirmed the arrest of over 120 individuals posing as doctors in an extensive crackdown on fraudulent medical practices. Speaking to City Press on Monday, the council spokesperson Christopher Tsatsawane revealed that these arrests were made over approximately 3 years, highlighting the scale of the problem. Can you imagine the damage these people would have caused by the time that this is discovered? Can you imagine? But I'm showing you this so that you can see the apprehension of 124 bogus doctors from different provinces in the country occurred over 3 years through an ongoing campaign by the HPCSA and the police. The campaign is aimed at clamping down on illegal doctors in the country. But whilst that is the case, some of these doctors are registered with them, as you have seen with the neurosurgeon that practiced medicine, having registered with them, but having been helped by staff members in the HPCSA to bypass the very examination that was meant to determine his level of competency. Can you see this? Now, that being the case, and this is very, very dangerous. Why is this dangerous? Let me show you. This is why this is dangerous. What is an iatrogenic? Some of you may know, some of you may not know this. An iatrogenic is an illness or relating to an illness caused by medical examination or treatment. Drugs may cause side effects which can lead to iatrogenic disease. Now, here's the example of iatrogenic disease. For example, radiation therapy and chemotherapy, necessarily aggressive for therapeutic effect, frequently produce such iatrogenic effects as hair loss, hemolytic anemia, diabetes, insipidus, vomiting, nausea, brain damage, lymphedema, infertility, etc. Now, iatrogenic, if you really want to learn about it, this is well known in America, for an example, by doctors, and it's regarded as the fourth, if not the third, killer of human beings. So there is a danger every time you go and see a medical doctor that you may die. From what? From whatever treatment they literally give to you. This is why it's important for us to literally have organizations that are trustworthy, that are vetting doctors. Obviously, with this amount of carelessness, such a responsibility has been abdicated to us. That each time you visit a doctor, and that is why it's important for you not to change doctors like you change your socks. It's very, very important. When you visit a doctor, you need to find out what are their credentials. They are normally hanging on their wall. You can just take a snapshot there with your phone, and then you verify that through, because it will tell you where he or she got those qualifications, and you can follow up at your own leisure to vet the person out, to find out if indeed this person is the person that they are claiming to be. That way you have a peace of mind to know that you are being rendered a professional help by a professional who accounts to a professional body, who can be held accountable for any subsequent negligence that he may practice. You see? Ultimately, we have to take responsibility for our own health. Otherwise, you are going to find yourself in a situation where you become a victim of things like what I've just showed you now, iatrogenic, which is very deadly itself. As a matter of fact, I normally say to people, medical doctors are the only ones who can kill you without anybody suspecting that you have been murdered. People may think that you died of natural causes. Meanwhile, you've been killed by a medical doctor. By just one pill, one tablet that they give to you can literally end your life. That is why it's important for you to up your game and your alertness and look at all the red flags. Do not ignore red flags, because you can see that the powers that be do not, either they are incompetent to know or to be able to assess what they are supposed to assess, to unearth the possibility of these people being imposters or not. And in this case, of course, this one was giving medical advice on TikTok, which is a social media. You should never take medical advice from social media. I never do. It's not a smart thing to do. If you take medical advice from social media, we may find you dead, and who is going to be held accountable for your death? So people need to wake up. You need to be alert. You need to know this is rampant. It ought not to be in a civilized society, but the reality is, it is what it is. Okay, guys, that's it for this video. Be alert, beware, be responsible for your own life. Ciao, ciao. See you in the next video. Bye now.